Hello dear, this is Goke Akingbade, your safety guide, with another interesting topic on occupational safety and health for your viewing pleasure. Today we want to consider accidents. That is what we are going to focus on. What is an accident? And also what are the causes of accidents? Okay? An accident is an unwanted, unexpected event that results in injury. Okay? Human injury, damage to property, products or environments damage, product or environmental damage, production or losses, or increased liabilities. So that is an accident. Any undesired circumstance or event that gives rise to health issue or injury, damage to property or products, loss of production, and increased liabilities. Okay, note, for example, a vehicle, a driver driving and is multitasking on the highway, his attention is being divided, and most likely with time he might hit the vehicle in front of him. So that is an accident. It wasn't expected, it wasn't desired, but because of divided attention, he hits the vehicle in front, and that most likely there is a damage in that vehicle. So an accident is an event that is unexpected. Note, it wasn't expecting it to happen, it wasn't planned. An unwanted event that results in harm to people, causes damage or loss to properties. So if it's very serious, somebody might get hurt. If it's not, for example, the vehicle has been affected, so damage to property. All accidents have a cause and effect. Please note, all accidents have a cause and effect. So that is what an accident is. It's important for us to be able to understand what an accident is and how to prevent such from happening. So let's look at the two causes of an accident. We have Unsafe Act and Unsafe Condition. 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 So we are going to consider Unsafe Act first. Okay? Unsafe Act. Usually 80 to 90% of all accidents are caused by unsafe acts of people, as opposed to unsafe mechanical or physical conditions. Okay, when you say unsafe act, somebody is engaging in an unsafe way. So the human factor is present. Human failure is the primary cause of accidents. Human factor is considered an unsafe act. So unsafe act is the human action that departs from a standard way of doing a job, the safe way of doing the job as instructed or imposed by regulation. You can see this scaffolder walking at height, and what do you notice? He's not wearing a full body harness or a safety harness. If he slips and falls, he's likely going to be seriously injured. So this is an unsafe act. Let's look at other examples of unsafe acts. Operating equipment without authority. For example, you are driving without your license. Somebody driving without driver's license. Driving or operating a machinery without competency. You're operating a forklift truck, payloader machinery, heavy duty equipment, and you do not have your license to operate such. Okay? Disregard of standard operating procedures. Removing safety devices. For example, in construction, we have what we call an angle grinder or a cutting machine. Usually this device usually should have a guard, a safety guard fixed. But you notice people, workers, removing the safety guard because they feel it hinders them from cutting or doing the job fast. Okay? But it exposes them to direct contact with the blade. So that is bodily harm, serious bodily harm. Using faulty equipment or defective equipment, using a claw hammer that the claw has been damaged. You want to use it to bring out a nail by hitting the head on the nail so that it will come out. The head is used to drive the nail to the wall. Okay, so that is a wrong way of using that too. Using improper PPEs, personal protective equipment, walking in an unsafe posture, engaging in horseplay. Horseplay is playfully or engaging in playful acts during working time. It causes distraction and somebody might get hurt. Absent-mindedness or nervousness, willful intent to injure, walking while under influence of alcohol or drugs. Okay, you're going to come to work and you go to a party, you party all night, you drink alcohol. Most likely the following day, the the alcohol will still be in your system. It won't have been one off or one run down. Because of that, the person is still intoxicated. His sense of judgment will be impaired, affected if he's in a working environment. Improper lifting and carrying, lack of knowledge or skills, failure to understand instructions. Okay, improper lifting here. When you want to carry a heavy object, you are supposed to actually maintain the posture of a weightlifter. You bend down, you move close to the object, you use your hands to access it, then you lift it from that point using your hands and legs. In that way, there's an impact on your leg and your hands while lifting the load, and you don't twist when you're up. But most people, when they want to lift an object, they from height bend a little and then use their back, use their two hands to lift the object. It is the back lifting the object in that variance, which is poor lifting technique. And then the second cause or factor that causes accident is unsafe condition. This is a picture of an unsafe condition. We have rebars protruding that are not protected or covered up. Okay, anyone that wants to pass through this area in this site, what do you think will happen? Most likely the person might either get hooked, the leg, a cloth might get hooked and he might get injured. So an unsafe condition is a physical or chemical property of a material or a machine or environment that could result in damage to property, injury to an individual or a person, and also losses of other forms. Okay, that is an unsafe condition. Physical or chemical property of a material or the environment which could result in injury to a person, damage or destruction to property, or other forms of losses. So let's consider the other examples of unsafe conditions. Wet slippery floors. Wet slippery floors is talking about you have oil spilled on the floor or water. It makes the ground slippery. It's supposed to be mopped dry. Whoever comes into that place and steps on it is likely going to slip and fall. Okay, so it needs to have been mopped because there has been reduction in friction on the surface. Then unstable stacking of materials, cartons not properly stacked together, protruding rebars. That is the clear example of the picture we just looked at. Live conductors without insulation. Live conductors without insulation. For example, we have a wall socket and this cover has been removed. In this instance, people are exposed because of the wiring. Whoever touches the wire and is not wearing a glove is likely going to sustain electric shock. So in such a case, there has to be a wall cover, the cover for the wall socket. Equipment without machine guarding, similar to what we explained, the angle grinder that the guard has been removed. Poor storage of combustible materials. You store kegs of petrol, and in the area that is stored, you have other elements that can cause fire present. Maybe somebody is smoking, maybe there's too much heat in that place. Exposure of heat to the fuel, so it is unsafe. Let's look at these pictures. We have this man working at height. So is it an unsafe act or unsafe condition? It's an unsafe act. The first picture shows a door That is supposed to be an emergency exit. Emergency exits are supposed to be accessible, open, as in if anyone wants to pass through them, it shouldn't be an issue. So we have this next picture, two workers at height, and one is at height, one is holding the ladder. This is unsafe act because the one at height, the ladder is not stable, is likely going to slip and fall at height. So this is unsafe act. It's a scaffold that's supposed to have been used instead. And then we have a picture of an open access hatch. If anyone is passing through here and doesn't know that this is open, somebody can put his leg or his leg can get stuck inside and he might want to slip and fall down. So this is an unsafe condition. It's supposed to be covered up. The hatch is supposed to be covered up. So it is important for us to always remember that unsafe acts and unsafe conditions can be present within the work environment. People can be engaged in unsafe acts. They need to be corrected. Unsafe conditions also need to be removed or corrected. So it is important that we observe our working environment. Very key. If you see an unsafe act being displayed by workers, correct them. If you see an unsafe condition that has not been rectified and it is not within your authority to correct it, report it so that somebody will not get injured because of its presence. So till I come your way again, this is Goke Akingbade, your safety guard, wishing you a safe day. Cheers.